Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing for you guys a journey to long hair tips and tricks type video. About a year and a few months ago I got my hair chopped. I mean completely, like probably this short. My hair was dead, it wasn't growing, I couldn't figure out what was wrong, what I had to do. So I just pretty much gave up on my hair and I was like, chop it all off. So I will insert a pic right now of what it looked like. And that was about a year and a few months ago, around the summertime. So when I had my hair chopped, all the dead hair was gone. It was clean, fresh, new, and I told myself that I was going to make my hair healthy again. So here are some of the things that I did to get it to the length that it is now, and for a year I think that's pretty good. Just a little disclaimer, I am not an expert in any way, shape, or form about hair. I have taken no classes on it or anything. This is just like personally what I did and what worked. I'm not saying it'll work on you, but it's, you know, it's an idea. So first thing that I did obviously was cutting my hair off. It was getting rid of all the dead hair, and I really wanted a fresh, clean slate. So then once I did cut my hair, what I did was I started using shampoos that had no sulfate in it, or that were geared towards the salons that you go to that are actually good for your hair, and not like the $1, $2, $3 shampoo and conditioners. And although this can get pricey over time, it really, I think, does help, because it doesn't, a lot of those hair products that you use, they strip your hair of everything that's good in it and bad. So what I'm using right now, and I've switched from a lot of different products. Right now I am using the Paul Mitchell Original shampoo and conditioner. I mentioned this in my favorites. Like I said, it was a little bit expensive, but it has lasted me quite a long time, and I feel like the product has worked tremendously with my hair. And it smells amazing. You don't have to use this. I've used plenty of other kinds. I actually recommend switching up what you're using, because sometimes when you use it for too long, it can kind of dull the effects of what the actual hair product is supposed to do for you. And it's always good to see what else is out there, what you like. Maybe there's something cheaper that works just as good on your hair. But that is what I'm using right now. Another thing that I did was I took Biotin gummies to begin with, and they're supposed to help your hair, your skin, and your nails. Personally, I wasn't a huge fan of them, and one day my friend told me that actually using prenatals helps do the same thing, and I found them to work a lot better for me. This is what I use. They're just little gummies. You take 2 a day, and it's supposed to give you the extra nutrients that you need for your hair, your skin, your nails to be healthy and grow, and you know, stuff like that. So that's what I've been using. You can use Biotin. It just, personally, I didn't really like it all that much, but that's my own personal preference. But that is another option if Biotin, like it was for me, wasn't working for you. That I did, which is actually pretty hard for me, is remembering to cut your hair. And although I thought that this was pretty well known, I have a lot of people that I've talked to that didn't know this, and it sounds kind of weird, but cutting your hair makes it longer. Because if you're cutting your hair on a regular basis, you're not getting the dried ends that can damage your hair, because when dry ends start to form, they will grow up in your hair and it will make more of your hair dead And when your hair is dead, it doesn't grow as healthy as it would as if you're getting your regular haircuts. This is something I struggle with a lot because I just like to push things off. So what I found was a good idea was to get my hair cut and then schedule something for an appointment later on, right then and there, so then you can't put it off. It's done, it's scheduled, and then you just come in for your next one and do it over again. That's what I do. I need to get one right now actually, but that's another tip that I have for if you want your hair to grow. Another thing that I have been trying to work on a lot lately is not wearing my hair out, because actually with the hair ties that you're using, especially if they're wicked tight, it can cause breakage where the hair tie is sitting and can actually ruin your hair up here, just like it does with the dead ends. It'll do the same thing. It'll break, they'll flake apart, and it just doesn't lead for healthy hair. It doesn't help. Another thing that I did, and I really committed to this because this was super hard for me, was not using any heat products. I didn't straighten my hair, I didn't curl my hair, I didn't blow dry my hair, I didn't do any of that. And I really loved curling and straightening my hair, but I called it quits, at least for a little while. It's not good to have that heat on your hair every single day. It really dried my hair. I think it caused a lot of my dead ends to form prematurely, a lot quicker than they should have. And I actually had to learn to love my hair without it being styled, which was really hard for me. When I was in 8th grade, I got a perm, and I was told by the woman, because before I had pin straight thick hair, and she told me that how my hair was, the perm was only gonna last like 2 weeks if I was lucky, and it wasn't even worth doing. And I told her that I knew my hair a little bit more than that, and I knew that it was gonna last. This perm, although it's not super curly, it still has that curl. I will never have pin straight hair again. It lasted probably a solid 2 to 3 years, and now I still have wavy hair compared to my pin straight hair that I had before, and I love it. I can work well with it. I think it's got nice body and volume, and I just learned to love my hair. Another thing I've been trying to do is not to box dye my hair. That is something I did a lot. I was going for the very black hair, and it wasn't healthy. I was dyeing my hair a lot, and they always tell you, oh, you shouldn't use box dye, you shouldn't use box dye, and I should have listened, because it really does damage your hair, and it took me a long time to get where I am today, and I feel like it would have been a much easier process if I hadn't used box dye. So really, if you want your hair dyed, please go to a salon, or let your hair breathe for a while. Don't put any hair dye product in it. That's what I did. I haven't dyed it in 8 months or so, and my roots are growing in, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I do want my natural hair back, so I am working through it and I'm dealing with it, and I'm learning, like I said, to love my hair. And I think that's the most important thing that you can do when you're trying to grow long hair, is to embrace the imperfections of your hair, because not everyone has the perfect beach blonde wavy hair, or the perfect pin straight hair down to your hips, or anything like that. It's not really realistic. When you learn to love your hair, that's when you really learn how to have healthy and pretty and luxurious hair. Alright guys, those are the tips and tricks and the stuff that I did to get my hair to the length that it is today. Like I said, my hair's not super long. It does have a long ways to go, but from where it was about a year ago to now, I am very happy with it. I think it has grown tremendously, especially because my hair would not grow. I'm really not kidding when I say that. My hair was probably about this long before I cut it. And it had been that long for probably 6 months. It had not moved, it had not budged, and that's why I originally had it cut, was because it wasn't growing. There was no life in it. It was a wreck. It looked awful, and I was done with it. And you know, since then, so much has changed, and I love it, and I've learned to embrace it, and that's all you can do. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!